Now, this is my favorite album of all time, so heavily biased here, and obviously the podcast logo is is in honor of that. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. There's a conscious effort for the band to go in, I guess, more of like a mature, darker direction.
They wanted to kind of appear that way. So that's what, in terms of like shooting them, that was definitely like what they wanted. So
is that something that, did you meet with them and they just said, hey, it's time, we don't want to be necessarily like shown as a boy band per se, or how did that conversation go for you?
I think it was like a big meeting. It was just kind of like, this is what we want in our image. We want to be in black shirts. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's your image, so it's, you know what I mean? You should be the way that you want to be. It wasn't like a problem or something. A friend of theirs sort of came with the title, and again, that was as difficult. It feels like that was as difficult as coming up with Enema of the State, because the thing is, trying to figure out what to do with that title. That was the real problem, and it's sort of like, it looks like, oh well, of course you do this now, but until I kind of figured out to do it like this, to sort of understand that, like, oh, the joke is in that, so you need to kind of act like there isn't a joke. It's sort of like, was knowing how to manage the humor of that in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes across like, what do you think it means? You know what I mean? Like, it sort of puts it on you to be like, oh, you think it's about jacking off?
There's still people today who are like, oh, I didn't realize that it meant that.
Those are really dense people. That's what I'll say.
Machine Gun Kelly just said it not too long ago.
Okay, well, Machine Gun Kelly's a little thick on that day, I would say.
The red, yellow, and green with the 3 circles or whatever, where did that come from?
From the stoplight?
Yeah.
What the colors are. It was just sort of inspired by that look.
I gotcha.
Yeah, it kind of worked. I mean, I knew we wanted symbols for these things. Greg Lindy designed all those symbols for me. He's really good at that kind of sort of slick graphic stuff at Intersection Studio. Somebody I'd known for a long time. He's mostly a type designer now. Teaches type design at Art Center. Really, really great guy. I mean, the nice thing about that world is, you know what I mean? Like, you meet a lot of cool, talented people.
One of the things that I think always just struck me as being so cool when this album came out is the 3 different color CDs, the 3 different, like, with the bonus tracks. Or
all
whatever.
That potential was kind of in there. You know what I mean? I think that's the beauty of that one, was there was a lot we could do with it in that way. And we did. We sort of exhausted it. The promos,
yeah.
I still have a bunch of those promos and all those different colors, a bunch of those packages printed.
Is that something that came up in just initial meetings with yourself and the band as far as the direction and the rollout, or how did that idea come to be?
That was just me thinking of cool ways to do the promotion of the stuff.
That's pretty sick. Do you have a preference? So this is when, like, the digipacks are becoming a thing with Mark, Tom, and Travis show. Does that make a difference to you, or are you cool creating for either?
I probably preferred digipacks at that time, maybe because it was sort of like a newer format. It was kind of nice to get away from the plastic. I mean, every format has its problems because then when you make a digipack, it's not actually a square. So, everything kind of needs to be a square. So then you run into problems of, like, how do you turn this into a square? Or how do you sort of deal with that issue? People who aren't that sensitive just sort of like stretch and compress things. It's not really my thing. I don't usually do that to letters either. These are things I try to teach my students not to do. that type did not hurt you, so why don't you stop hurting it?
Speaking of letters, there's the alphabet theory amongst Blink fans where, like, A through whatever are snuck into the albums as far as the front cover goes. The G that is on the jacket on this cover, was that intentional because of that, or what does that represent?
No, these are just things people make up when they have a lot of time to think.
You're setting the record straight here. So the G is just for green?
Yeah.
Okay. It's as simple as that.
There's no secret code going on in there.
I've never believed in that theory, but there, I had heard people say that the G on this one was put in intentionally. Like, it's a stretch. I don't know. Well, we got the real answer out of this.
If it helps people feel that, yeah, it's magic.
Believe what you want.